Yesterday at Beaver Lake, it was all about the wind. Today, however, it was calm as glass. It's called the Beaver Lake curveball. The pattern that worked today is gone tomorrow, leaving leaders searching for a new fish trail, looking for a new window to open, a new pattern to evolve, staring into the lake's clear waters like a crystal ball, trying to see the future.
Spencer, the slick, calm conditions today hurt a lot of people. Didn't seem to do much to you. You're still bringing them in.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it did. I mean, in all reality, I caught them quick this morning. I knew I was going to have to because there was no breeze, and I mean, it was brutal after 10:30 for me. I mean, I caught like 9 or 10 keepers a day was it, and yesterday I probably had 50, But it was one of them deals. Yesterday I had 13.5 pounds by 9 o'clock and just went practicing, ended up calling 3 times and caught like 35 keepers, just messing around, fishing stuff I've never fished before. Today I hit good stuff and still didn't, they just weren't biting. I mean, I can't tell you the number of 2.5 to 3 pounders I've seen come after my bait today, but they just didn't have that breeze to give them that extra ump to get it.
So the clouds don't help compensate for that when there's no compensation for wind at this point.
No, it's not. I mean, you really want the sun because they can see a silhouette of the bait a lot better when the sun's out on two, coming from a deeper depth. When you throwing a jerk bait like I am, it's only getting down 5-6 foot, and a lot of them fish are biting me out over 20. They're coming 10, 15 foot for it. The wind just breaks up the surface. When you're down there fishing where you can see bottom in 18, 20 foot of water, and you don't have any wind to break the surface up, them fish run up there. They can see them hooks hanging from it, treble hooks, split rings, and stuff like that. So the wind's what makes such a big difference. The fish can't see it as well and see all the gear hanging from it, and they go ahead and bite it.
Yesterday you said you had what you thought was a backup plan for the slickness, obviously.
Yeah, I thought I did have a backup plan, but it was a miserable fail today. I went and did that for about 3 hours, and I never caught one once the sun got up doing it. I actually caught my first keeper doing that this morning, but no, it was brutal. I mean, I really relied on it. I honestly thought that was my best pattern, and this morning was the only fish I've caught doing that. I don't know what's happening to them fish. They're still there. They're just not biting.
You got a really nice lead right now. The good news for you is wind and forecast tomorrow. You got to like that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I seen it was supposed to blow like 20 miles an hour tomorrow, and I can't wait because yesterday was easy. And then Sunday, it's supposed to be, if I'm blessed enough to make it, Sunday it's supposed to be thunderstorms. And so it's going to be a front moving in, windy on top of that. It should be, game on.
Right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Andy, I was just talking to Cody Meyer over there. I said, you got your elbows thrown out, Cody. I mean, you're going to defend this Angler of the Year spot, and then Andy Morgan comes in with 15 pounds. So
Cody's going to be tough to beat. I mean, he's really hard to beat at Beaver, but anywhere you go to clean water, you go to dirty water, Cody Meyer is hard to beat. I mean, he has caught them all year long, and I expect him to catch them for the rest of the season. It's
going to be fun to watch y'all duke it out the next couple tournaments. On this lake, so we get some wind yesterday, and you have some little old measly catch. And then it gets dead slick and calm, the kiss of death at Beaver Lake, and you turn out 15 pounds. What's up with that?
Man, I just think it was really good fortune, Rob. I kind of fished a lot of the same water that I fished yesterday. I'm just not catching any largemouth. Most of it's smallmouth and spots. I mean, go figure that. I've never waded in a good smallmouth or a good spot here in the last 16 years. But this week, pretty much all smallmouth and spots, and I'm just burning down the bank and covering a lot of water, and eventually, thank goodness, I ran into them.
It seems like at times today we had a little bit of cloud cover. Does that help you at all, or is it just not a substitute for the wind?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a substitute for the wind, but nothing, is going to beat the wind. I like to see it blow tomorrow where I could really get out and power fish all day. I'm having to kind of resort in the afternoons back to some finesse stuff. Yesterday afternoon I didn't with all the wind, but today I did.
Yeah, it looks like some of you guys that are known for blitzing down the bank, watching you and thrift. When you have to, you can get out the old spinning rod and make something happen.
Well, I mean, this lake primarily pretty much taught me that. I mean, I used to come here and try to power fish, throw a big jig, big spinner bait, and took some horrible butt whoopings. So I finally got me a spinning rod and a shaking head, and you can fight back with that here. I mean, you can catch actually some pretty good fish here. I won here in 2007 primarily on a spinning rod, so taught me a pretty good lesson.
In terms of repeating water here, you've already just said that you've revisited some of the areas. Does it bother you to fish behind yourself on this lake right now? Is it just they're moving up? It's that time of year where you can do that.
This lake, to go in, this lake is not a bad lake. It's got quite a few fish in it. The thing with Beaver Lake is it's small. It fishes tiny. Well, I'd rather fish behind myself because I know what I just went down through there and done and caught. There's 47 other boats. If you can find something off the beaten path, which is tough to do, almost impossible, that's when you do good at beaver. And I found just a couple little areas just a little off the beaten path. So
Might have had me a good little theme going here, some little clear water. We're bringing in these spotted bass and smallmouth and clear water, and then you showed up and ruined the party with some stained water fishing up the lake a little bit. Tell me about it.
Well, when I first got here, actually I fished this lake 7 or 8 times now from the front of the boat, and I've fished at the lower end in some tournaments. I've never fished up the river, so to speak, except the year that it was about 12 feet high and muddy. And this year, we had such a big shad kill, or they had such a big shad kill here, that I think a lot of these fish are really dialed in on that crawfish deal right now. The shad, last year when we came here, all the pockets back here were full of birds, full of bait, and, it's hard to find a big ball of bait right now. So, I got dialed into a little deal in practice, and they just seem to be biting the crawfish imitation baits in the stained water a lot better. They're setting up a lot better for me. The fish are shallow. They're coming. More are coming. It's April. None of these fish have hardly spawned yet. So I hope it's playing right in my hands. I've had most of my weight pretty early each day, and I've kind of laid off some stuff, saving it for the finals. So, this is a Beaver Lake marathon, what I call it. If you catch 13 pounds every day, you're going to be right there at the end thing. So until Thrift drops a 20-pound bag or something crazy, or Andy over there who never catches them. But, I hope it works out. I'm getting, I've caught 8 or 9 largemouth keepers each day pretty quick, and I still got some water I hadn't touched yet. So if everything goes according to plan, hopefully we'll weigh in another 13 to 14 tomorrow, and then hopefully another 13 to 14 Sunday. So
it's almost like your weight got better without wind.
It did. What I'm doing, wind has, the biggest thing, I look for something that was consistent, going to be consistent regardless of weather conditions, because y'all know this year, every tournament we've had unbelievably, terrible weather one day, bright, sunny, bluebird skies, no wind one day. So I wanted to find something that, regardless of weather conditions and the fish, I know they're wanting to come up, I know they're wanting to spawn. I saw that the weather forecast for the tournament was going to be warm. So I tried to find something that I knew wouldn't be affected regardless of wind, clouds, sun, a mix, whatever. And so far, so good. In practice, I experimented a little bit with the changing conditions we had in practice, and I got bit every time I did this deal regardless of weather. So,
Troy, the wind was a big difference maker here between yesterday and today. And yesterday, a lot of wind, big catch. It getting calm didn't seem to affect you very much. Did you have to adapt, or did your place just hold up for it?
No, I'm running a lot of water, and I'm fishing a little bit deeper than I think a lot of the guys. And the slick water is not going to affect me as bad. I could tell it made a little bit of a difference, but both days have been a grind for me. It's just I have to be relentless and keep at it.
Clear water, all clear water for you?
Yeah, running down the lake. I like the idea of having a shot at a big smallmouth, and that's where they live. So I'll stay where they all 3 live and see what happens. No
temptation to get in the sting?
Nope. I didn't even this year. Usually every year we come here, of course, every year I go one day above the bridge and check. And I ended the very first time I was here, I fished above the bridge one day, and I caught them. But I didn't even go above the bridge the whole practice this time.
Just a comfort zone down there, the linears, the Hartwells, the clear water, you feel better now?
Yeah, I like to see what's going on, and typically that river, it's notorious for you catch them one day and get burnt the next. So stick down and try to stay consistent.
Making up for Hartwell here.
Yeah, I've got a long road to make up for Hartwell, but we're working on it.
Cody, looks like you're throwing the elbows out on the old Angler of the Year position, not going to let anybody get near you. Doing pretty good here.
Yeah, for this tournament anyways. Andy's always so darn good, tough to beat. But, just having a great time out there, catching a lot of fish. I was actually really happy to see no wind today. And it made the bite tougher for me, but, a lot of people as well, and I felt like that was kind of to my advantage.
Okay, so you like it. You like for these other people to be in pain, to be hurting, to be suffering, in the calm slickness.
I hate to sound bad, but kind of I do, and you know, when the wind is up, I mean, the chances of someone catching a big one, you know, really goes up, and myself included. But when it's calm, it's tougher for everyone, and you know, the tougher conditions, I feel like I have a little bit better chance to catch a good bag.
Now, I just got to bring this up because we interviewed you in the pre-tournament stuff, and you said, man, I'm really kind of leaning towards some largemouth here. That's what yet I go down in that clear water, and I see the green rappel boat down there.
So I started on the largemouth area. I caught a 3-pounder. My co caught a 5 and a 3, and it was like 11. I had 1 fish. So I bailed out, safety valve, went down there, and I'm not leaving the clear water now.
You got in the comfort zone and got it going on.
Yeah, I really do. And you know, I don't know if it'll hold up, but I try to run a lot of new water today. You know, I was culling some 2-pounders. Didn't really help me. You know, those fish were probably hurt. You know, I want those back. But hopefully I can just keep consistent and maybe get that big bite in the next day.
Don't want to ask you about baits just yet, but in that clear water everybody talks about, just give me a pound test you're throwing.
4.
Do what?
4 pound, 5 pound. I went to 6 even on one rod. You can actually see in certain areas down 20 feet. So I feel like, you know, the longer cast I make, the lighter line, the better chance I have.
4 pound test.
4 pound test. And yesterday I hooked a smallmouth that was in a tree and it was seesawing back and forth, and I got it out. So, you know, that Seaguar line's pretty strong, and hopefully, you know, I don't jinx myself, but hopefully I get those bites and land them.
Wow, 4 pound test. Cody Meyer. Thanks, Cody. Casey, you've never been here before, and you're doing really well, and you said the motto for you is just to go practicing every day, and it's working out.
It is. You know, I found 2 areas yesterday, you know, with the wind blowing, the fish bit pretty good, so you were able to cover more water, and I found a couple areas that had fish in them, and I spent a lot of time this morning in those areas, and I caught a limit. I caught my 2 biggest fish there again, and after about 11 o'clock, I just started running new water, and I actually called, you know, 3 or 4 more times. And, you know, it seems like the fish are pulling up now. They're getting a lot shallower, especially in the, I ain't gonna call it dirty water, but it's not crystal clear. If you can find, I call it green water, you know, where you can see about 3 or 4 feet deep. When you get in that, I think the fish are pulling up, and they're getting really shallow. I mean, the water temperatures this afternoon when I came in, it was like 58, 59. I mean, so they're getting ready to do their deal.
Okay. In terms of what I was going to say is that these people that come here and have known this lake so many years, they have so many memories running around in their head. But I guess when you come here the first time, it's just like you don't have those things eating you up inside. You just fish.
Exactly. It's called not knowing any better.
That's what I was trying to get at right there.
Yeah. I'm fishing stuff that, you know, most guys, I don't know, maybe they have fished it or fished it in the past and hadn't done any good, but, you know, just blow right by. And I mean, just like I say, I'm catching them there because I don't know any better. I have no knowledge of this lake. I practiced here 3 days. The 3 practice days were totally different from the past 2 days that we fished in the tournament. And, you know, man, I'm just going out there fishing, just practicing, trying to cover new water. And, you know, I spent a good bit of time in the areas that I have caught fish. But after that, I mean, I'm running. Just whatever looks good, I pull up and fish.
But you fish slow. It's kind of like the Hartwell thing. I mean, once you get in an area, you really needle it.
Well, what I'm doing, I'm throwing a shaky head. All my fish come on a shaky head. And but when I'm just going down the bank, I'm throwing to key targets. If I see one single rock sticking out further than the others or a bigger rock, that's what I'm throwing at. And I work it real slow, you know, 8 or 10 feet around it, and then I wind in and go to the next one. So it looks like I'm fishing slow, but I'm not just chunking down the bank and fishing like that. Later in the day today, I caught a lot of fish on docks. When I got in this more green water, they started, you know, getting up a little shallower and relating more to that shade.
One step closer to the Forest Wood Cup at Lake Murray.
Yeah, you know, I came into this tournament, really, I'll be honest with you, I came into this tournament trying not to finish 90th. I mean, when I got a limit the first day, it was like a 18-wheeler off my chest. But, you know, now, shoot, winnings, it is. I didn't catch them that great today, but I think I'll fish tomorrow. And, hey, all you got to get is 2 bites here or 1 4 or 5 pounder. You get right back up there where you need to be. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope I fish tomorrow.